This is by no means a time to let up or dial back.
FBI Director Christopher Wray on Thursday, testifying before a House budget panel, expressed concerns about a possible organized attack in the United States, similar to the one that killed scores of people at a Russian concert hall last month.
As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I would be hard-pressed to think of a time where so many threats to our public safety and national security were so elevated all at once. But that is the case as I sit here today.
U.S. officials have been worried about the possibility of an attack inspired by the war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. But Wray said concerns have escalated following the concert massacre in Russia that killed at least 144 people. Wray also pressed lawmakers to renew a U.S. surveillance program set to expire this month, saying it was key to help fight against terrorist attacks.
An absolutely indispensable tool that Congress can give us in our fight against foreign adversaries is the reauthorization of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It is critical in securing our nation, and we are in crunch time with our 702 authority set to expire next week.
Wray cited the FBI's concerns about terrorism to help persuade lawmakers to boost funding for the agency, but he is likely to face strong pushback from congressional Republicans, as the FBI has become a prime target for former President Donald Trump, who has called on Congress to slash the law enforcement agency's funding, alleging it has unfairly targeted him while going soft on his political enemies.
When I sat here last year, I walked through how we were already in a heightened threat environment. Since then, we've seen the threat from foreign terrorists rise to a whole nother level after October 7th. We continue to see the cartels push fentanyl and other dangerous drugs into every corner of the country, claiming countless American lives. We've seen a spate of ransomware and other cyber attacks impacting parts of our critical infrastructure and businesses, both large and small. Violent crime, which reached alarming levels coming out of the pandemic, remains far too high and is impacting far too many communities. China continues its relentless effort to steal our intellectual property and most valuable information. And that is just scratching the surface. As I look back over my career in law enforcement, I would be hard-pressed to think of a time where so many threats to our public safety and national security were so elevated all at once. But that is the case as I sit here today.
Funding more than the overall Department of Justice is. In fact, if the total spending for the DOJ...
This is a time when we need your support the most. We need all the tools, all the people, and all the resources required to tackle these threats and to keep Americans safe. So to take each of those in turn, the tools, the people, and the resources. First, an absolutely indispensable tool that Congress can give us in our fight against foreign adversaries is the reauthorization of Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. It is critical in securing our nation, and we are in crunch time with our 702 authority set to expire next week.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Director Wray.
But now, increasingly concerning is the potential for a coordinated attack here in the homeland, akin to the ISIS-K attack we saw at the Russia concert hall just a couple weeks ago. We also need funding to counter the threat from the People's Republic of China, a government sparing no expense in its quest to hack, lie, cheat, and steal its way to the top as a global superpower and to undermine our democracy and our economic success.
The performance of some within your agency acting.
And we have seen a substantial jump in threats towards FBI personnel and facilities from fiscal year 22 to fiscal year 23. In fact, we created a dedicated unit to try to deal with those issues.
I'll be honest with you, and this pains me to say this, but I don't trust you. I don't think that this is necessarily a funding problem that we have for your agency as much as a leadership problem. And
от ран скончавшихся, покоя, тишины блаженной памяти, Господу помолимся. Простите им всякому прегрешению, молимся. О неосужденном предстатию страшного престола. Милости Божия, Царство Небесного, Богу предадим.
Это принеси воскресение, живот и покой усопших раб.
Да, я перешлю, конечно.
Сообщаю центру полковник Рамушкин. Здравия желаю. Решите? Да, я вам расскажу. Специальная военная операция на экипаж выполнял задачи по поиску спасения экипажей, также сопровождение группы специального назначения, которая у нас боевая группа. Установлен новый комплекс обороны, который позволяет защищать вертолеты. До 6 тысяч потом. Так точно, но сейчас новые движки более агрессивные. Далее ракета сама распознает по принципу «пустил, забыл». Одевайте мошенник. Он просто... Ну да, управляемость тяжело. Не удержать. Оденьте. Дальность видео, когда смотришь на авиационную технику,